focus on the energy recovery units because the air handling units have less components than the energy recovery units, but they're basically the same thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this unit. This unit's off. It's the Eru 100. Specifically looking at this one because it's off, so we can actually go in and see the different compartments. So I'm going to start with the front end, or what I call the front end, which is the outside air, which is over on this side. We've got the outside air intake coming in to the end of the unit. In this first section, you basically have your outside air intake dampers, which then is going into your supply fan. Your supply fan, we actually have this cross flow baffle that helps the airflow so it doesn't turbulent go into the fan. I'm not sure if that's on every single unit. I believe we added it to a lot of them because it resolves some of the incoming duct problems, but I'm not sure if it's on all of them. It's not necessarily a component that's required, but it helps when your air streams up here and your fan's down here. So we have the inlet guard, and then you got your large fan. You can see on the inside, on the center wall, the reason there's a center wall is you got an outside air supply air path, you got a return air, or what we call return air. It's actually building exhaust path side by side. So we have a recirc damper in the center wall, and what that is for if the energy recovery wheel fails, say a belt breaks or something to that effect, or the building's out of control for some reason, that can be a fail-safe. You can open it up, you turn it into a recirculation unit, the outside air is off the unit at that point, and you can provide that dehumidification in that way. So as we're going to the side, we've got our VFDs. You got one for the exhaust side, which the exhaust fan's on the other side of the supply fan, and the supply fan's here. So you have your disconnects, you've got your keypads for your drives themselves. So from this perspective, you have your shut-off disconnects. You can actually shut off an individual fan this way. 9 times out of 10, you're going to shut the entire unit off. You're going to service it anyway. So, following from that, this is a... Yes, sir.
No.
Oh, that's you. Okay. So this is a step down. What we do is so you don't have to run a 120 volt service and a 460 volt service. We have a 460 volt service comes in here. Then we have a step down, and we have a fuse disconnect separately for your lights and GFI. So that way, just less installation cost. So it's already built in. This is your electrical panel, your non-fused disconnect. We do non-fused so that way it doesn't confuse you. The fusing is going to be at your main incoming line circuit breaker. We don't put an extra fuse here. Now there are fusing inside for each individual leg, but this main is not. It's just a non-fused disconnect. So if you have a power outage or something like that, it's not going to be at this point. It's going to be back at your main line. Okay. So going from that, this is really an important piece. Knowing the serial number for unit-specific information is the second portion where it's a PJ48011. The PJ, that's Pittygene, that's the name of our plant. It's in Arkansas. But the main number, 71572, that is the order number. So 71572 will get us to this project. Now, not every single one. And the reason why I say that, well, that number, not on every single one. And the reason is because this was phased. And so it's just important. First 5 digits get you to the generic thing. If you need a specific unit call out, that's what the rest of that serial number's for. So obviously you've got the voltage information and so forth. You got a 60 horse and a 50 horse motor on this. So moving down from the fan, you've got your enclosed enclosure on the fan so that you're safety protected from that. You got the big fan motor right there. We go ahead and gave you grease guns inside the unit, so you could use that. So that's available. That'll last you for a while, but obviously you have to replenish that in the future. The next thing you got is you got your Mervate filters right here. So you got Mervates. You have secondary filters as well. So you got MERVs and secondaries. And then you have the wheel. So this is your outside air cleaning filters. I can tell you that these filters are less important than the filters on the other side of the wheel, on the exhaust side. obviously a smoking environment. One of the things is, how often do you need to clean the wheel? Well, from that perspective, if you change the filters out on a regular basis, you shouldn't have to clean the wheel. Now, there'll be a clean period associated with construction. Once all construction is done, you probably need to do a clean there. But if you change the filters out, you should not have to clean our wheels, and I'll explain why in a second. You got your control panel right here. So that's just for the wheels. So there's actually 2 control panels that operate each one of these units on the ERU side. Semco provides the wheel controls and the wheel controls only, whereas Siemens is providing the controls for the rest of the unit, so dampers, fans, anything of that nature. So with that being said, you can go through and click on to this. It's an LED display on the back side. You can go through and see where it's units operating or not. You have a handoff auto. Handoff auto, hand is you're manually operating. Auto means the building automation system has the controls. Unit alarm. This main unit alarm is really going to be anything that's associated with the wheel. And really there's one major alarm, which is a rotation detector. So it's a proximity sensor on the wheel that as it's rotating around the wheel, it basically counts, almost like a timing belt, if you will. And so if for some reason the belt is broken, over a period of time,